Chosen one, there are moments in life where the air feels heavier, where the silence itself seems to shout, where every second carries weight far greater than you can see. This is one of those moments. You can sense it, the tension in your chest, the urgency in your spirit, the undeniable pull that warns you not to hesitate. Destiny has arrived and it is standing before you now. To delay, even for a heartbeat, is to risk losing what was carved for you long ago. The clock is not just ticking, it is striking, and each second that passes demands your recognition. Stay until the very end of this message, for clarity comes when you listen fully. And when you finish, write your warmest wishes along with the number 777 in the comments. This simple act of declaration is not random, it is energy released into the universe. It is alignment between your heart's intention and the flow of what is meant for you. That choice alone to declare your wishes openly sets things in motion in ways you cannot yet see. Think of the power of a second. A single second can change everything. A second too soon and the door has not yet opened. A second too late and the door has already closed. But the right second, the one written for you, changes everything. Life is not measured in years or decades, it is measured in those rare seconds when courage overcomes hesitation, when action replaces waiting, when destiny is chosen instead of ignored. That is what makes this hour sacred. You are standing in one of those seconds now, and hesitation is the only thing that can rob you of it. There is a dangerous comfort in waiting. Waiting convinces you that time is on your side, that tomorrow will look the same as today, that the opportunity will still be there when you are ready. But waiting is the language of fear disguised as logic. It tells you that you will be safer later, more prepared later, stronger later. The truth is that later is an illusion. Later never carries the same alignment as now. Later is the thief that robs you quietly without warning, leaving you only with the ache of what could have been. Every great shift in your life has happened not because you waited for the perfect time, but because you moved when you felt the pull. Think back to moments when you almost gave up, but chose to take one more step. Think of the times when you risked saying yes, even though you were trembling inside. Those were the seconds that reshaped your path. And now you are standing at another one far more significant than the rest. To delay now would be to reject the very preparation you have endured for years. Hesitation always feels harmless in the moment. You tell yourself you are simply thinking it through, weighing the risks, being careful. But in reality, hesitation is silent surrender. It is the decision to let fear write your story. And while fear promises safety, what it delivers is regret. Regret is the loudest voice you will ever hear, because it speaks not of what you lost, but of what you never allowed yourself to claim. That is the cost of a single second of delay, the echo of regret that can last a lifetime. But courage, even when small, even when trembling, unlocks everything. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act in spite of it. And once you act, once you take even a single step forward, the momentum shifts. Doors open that you did not see, strength rises that you did not know you had. Alignment multiplies itself, carrying you further than you thought possible. That is why this moment feels so urgent. It is pregnant with potential, waiting for your decision to bring it to life. The weight you feel pressing on you right now is not meant to crush you. It is meant to awaken you. It is destiny demanding that you recognize the finality of this second. Because this moment is not endless, it is not repeatable, it will not wait for you to be ready. It exists now and only now, and every second you hesitate is a second you cannot reclaim. So take a deep breath. Let the fear rise and fall, but do not let it rule you. Feel the urgency, honor it, and let it propel you into action. You have carried the weight of waiting long enough. You have endured the silence, survived the trials, pressed through the delays. All of it was shaping you for this second. And now, the only thing left is to step forward. Do not give fear another second to steal. There are moments when hesitation feels small, almost harmless, as if pausing for just 1 second could not possibly alter anything important. But those who have lived with regret know better. A single second of delay can determine whether a door opens or shuts, whether a connection forms or dissolves, whether a destiny is fulfilled or lost. Time does not pause to accommodate hesitation, it moves forward, with or without your agreement. And if you allow fear to hold you still for even a moment too long, the alignment you were waiting for can slip away silently, leaving you to wonder for years why it never returned. Think of the opportunities in your past that you allowed to pass by, the words you never spoke, the actions you never took, the choices you delayed until the moment was gone. At the time, you may have told yourself it wasn't urgent, that another chance would come, that there was no harm in waiting. But afterward, when the silence settled in, when the opportunity dissolved, you felt the sting of regret. That sting was not punishment, it was revelation. It revealed to you the truth that moments of destiny are fragile, and they must be seized with courage when they appear. What makes regret so heavy is not simply the loss itself, but the awareness that it could have been avoided. That is why it lingers in your mind long after the moment has passed. You replay it, imagining what might have happened if you had chosen differently, if you had spoken up, if you had acted sooner. This mental replay is the price of hesitation. It becomes a loop that follows you, reminding you of what was possible but never realized, and that loop can weigh on your spirit more heavily than any external loss. But the good news is that you are not doomed to repeat the cycle. The fact that you are hearing these words, the fact that your spirit is stirring with recognition, is proof that another door has opened. You are standing in the presence of a moment that demands urgency, and the choice is still yours. You can either step forward with courage, breaking the pattern of delay, or you can remain where you are, repeating the silence that once haunted you. Courage does not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it feels as small as a breath, as subtle as saying yes in your heart before your feet begin to move. But even the smallest act of courage has power. A whispered yes can break the chains of years of hesitation. A trembling step can unlock doors you thought were permanently sealed. A decision made in the span of 1 second can alter the trajectory of an entire lifetime. That is the power of now. It multiplies itself beyond the moment, rippling into every area of your future. Fear will always argue that you need more time. It will tell you to wait until you feel stronger, until you have more proof, until the conditions are perfect. But fear's goal is not to protect you, it is to keep you paralyzed. It convinces you that waiting is safe, when in reality, waiting is the most dangerous choice you can make. Because while you wait, time moves forward, and time does not return. The second you lose is gone forever, taking with it the opportunities it carried. This is why urgency feels so sharp in your spirit right now. It is not anxiety, it is clarity. It is the recognition that the window is open, but it will not stay open. It is the voice within you saying, if not now, then when? If not you, then who? That voice is not here to torment you, it is here to guide you. It is the sound of alignment pressing on your soul, reminding you that you cannot afford to delay. Look around your life and you will see the signs. The things that once felt stuck are beginning to shift. The connections you thought were impossible are aligning. The doors that seemed locked are cracking open. These are not accidents, they are confirmations that this is the appointed time. But confirmations alone cannot change your life, they must be met with action. Without action, they dissolve into memories of what could have been. With action, they transform into testimonies of what truly was. So ask yourself, what story do you want to tell in the future? Do you want to speak of the moment you recognize destiny but let it slip through your fingers? Or do you want to speak of the moment you chose courage and watched your life transform? That choice is being written in this very second. It will not be written tomorrow. It will not be written next week. It is being written now. And the ink is your decision. The weight pressing on you is not punishment, it is opportunity. It is the reminder that destiny is alive and waiting, but it will not wait forever. Every second you hesitate is a second you cannot reclaim. But every second you move in courage is a second that multiplies into a future you never thought possible. The choice is yours, and the time is now. There is a hidden cost to every second of hesitation, a price that is not always visible in the moment, but always felt in the long run. It begins subtly, like a quiet erosion, a voice that tells you nothing has changed, that waiting just a little longer will do no harm. But while you wait, the current of life moves forward, taking with it opportunities that will not return. What seems harmless in the moment becomes unbearable in hindsight. The smallest delay can alter the shape of your future, creating gaps that cannot be filled once time has passed. Think about how destiny works. It does not shout. It whispers. It nudges. It places signs before your eyes and stirs restlessness in your spirit. And when the appointed time arrives, it demands recognition. To ignore those whispers is to silence the very guidance you have been waiting for. It is not the loud storms that destroy alignment. It is the quiet seconds where fear convinces you to pause. Fear never tells you that pausing is surrender, but that is exactly what it is. Every pause is a small agreement with limitation, a quiet yes to regret. The tragedy of regret is not only that you missed something, it is that you missed something that was already yours. You were prepared for it, you were aligned for it, you were called to it, and yet it slipped away because hesitation wrote your decision for you. That is why regret lingers so heavily. It is the weight of what could have been, of doors that were once open, but are now forever closed. And if you have lived with regret before, you know it does not fade easily. It becomes a shadow, reminding you daily of the second you surrendered to fear instead of courage. But the story does not have to end there. Every new moment carries with it a choice, and the fact that you are here listening now is proof that alignment has come again. Life has given you another chance to decide differently, to step forward where before you hesitated, to break the cycle of delay. This is not coincidence, it is invitation. It is the universe placing in front of you the opportunity to write a different ending, one not defined by regret, but by courage. Understand this, courage is not about waiting for fear to disappear. Fear will always be present when something significant is at stake. Courage is about moving anyway, deciding that your future is worth more than your comfort, that destiny is worth more than hesitation. The greatest transformations in history have always begun with a single step of courage, often taken in the presence of trembling hands and racing hearts. And now you are standing at the same kind of threshold. Hesitation may disguise itself as wisdom, but true wisdom is recognizing the difference between caution and delay. Caution protects you from danger, but delay protects you from growth. Caution keeps you safe, but delay keeps you small. The moment you are in does not call for delay. It calls for action. Action. Every sign, every feeling, every whisper within you confirms this. The alignment has arrived, and the only thing left is your decision. The power of decision cannot be overstated. One decision can shift everything. One yes can break the chains of years of waiting. 1 second of courage can silence the regrets of a lifetime. That is why destiny feels so heavy right now. It knows that everything hinges on what you do with this moment, and though it may feel overwhelming, it is also empowering because the future is not outside your control. It is in your hands, right here, right now. And think about what will happen if you step forward. Fear will fade because fear cannot survive in motion. Opportunities will multiply because courage attracts alignment. Clarity will sharpen because movement reveals what waiting conceals. The very act of choosing will set things in motion that hesitation could never produce. And what once felt impossible will begin to unfold naturally, as if the universe was simply waiting for your signal to release it. This is why you cannot delay, not even for 1 second. Each second is a seed, and what you plant in it will grow. If you plant hesitation, you will reap regret. If you plant courage, you will reap destiny. The harvest is determined not by chance, but by the choices you make in the seconds that matter most. And this is one of those seconds. It is not just another moment on the clock. It is the moment the clock was always counting down toward. So breathe deeply, feel the urgency pressing on you. Recognize that it is not here to harm you, but to awaken you. And let this be the second you decide differently. The second you choose courage over hesitation. The second you write a new story, because 1 second of courage can redeem years of regret. 1 second of action can open doors that hesitation has kept locked. And this second, right now, is waiting for your yes. There is a truth that cannot be escaped. Time does not wait. It moves in one direction, carrying everything with it, never offering the same second twice. What is lost to hesitation is gone forever, and no amount of wishing can bring it back. This is what makes every second sacred. Each one holds potential that either blossoms into destiny or fades into regret. And now you are standing in one of those sacred seconds where delay will cost you more than you can imagine, and action will give you more than you can measure. Think about how time has shaped you already. The years that felt heavy, the struggles that left scars, the lessons you resisted but eventually embraced, all of them were building you. They prepared you for clarity, for resilience, for strength you didn't know you had. At the time, you may have cursed those seasons, wondering why they felt endless, why nothing seemed to move forward. But now, looking back, you can see their purpose. They were not wasted, they were shaping you for this very hour. And to hesitate now would be to let all that preparation be in vain. Hesitation dishonors the work of the past. It says to every tear you cried, every battle you fought, every night you endured in silence, it was for nothing. But when you step forward, when you act without delay, you honor the weight of your story. You declare that nothing you endured was wasted, that every step led you to this second, that the scars you carry were not signs of defeat, but evidence of preparation. The pain you survived becomes fuel. The silence you endured becomes clarity. The years you thought were lost become the foundation of your breakthrough. This is why delay is so costly. It does not simply steal the future, it diminishes the meaning of the past. To pause now is to betray the very strength that carried you here. But to move now is to redeem everything. Action transforms the pain of yesterday into the power of today. It takes the waiting and makes it worth it. It turns every moment of endurance into proof that destiny always delivers, but only to those who answer its call without hesitation. Consider how fragile a second truly is. One breath, one blink, one heartbeat, and it is gone. And yet within that fragility lies immense power. Entire lives are changed in a single second. The moment someone says yes, the moment someone lets go, the moment someone takes the first step into the unknown. You have seen this in your own life already, in the moments where everything shifted because of one decision. And now you are standing at another. The power to transform everything lies not in the hours ahead or the years behind, but in the single second you choose courage. Fear will argue that hesitation buys you time, but hesitation does not add time, it steals it. It convinces you that pausing is wisdom, but in reality it is surrender. Wisdom recognizes when the moment has come and responds immediately. Delay, on the other hand, robs you of the energy that alignment has placed before you. It drains the force of momentum until nothing is left but regret. And regret is always heavier than fear because it whispers endlessly of what could have been. There is a deep peace that comes only when you act. You may still feel fear, but alongside it you feel release. You feel the burden lift as destiny begins to carry you forward. That is the reward of obedience to the now. It relieves you of the weight of waiting and replaces it with the strength of momentum. Movement itself becomes your ally, creating clarity, aligning opportunities, and breaking open doors that hesitation could never unlock. This is why the present moment is so sacred. It is not just another point on the timeline of your life, it is the culmination of everything that has been building within you. It is the second that ties the past and the future together, the second that that redeems what came before and creates what lies ahead. And if you let it slip, you lose not only the future, but the meaning of the past. But if you seize it, you gain both at once. So let this be the second you honor time instead of wasting it. Let this be the second you decide that your story was not written in vain, that your future will not be forfeited to hesitation. Let this be the second you breathe deeply and silence the voice of fear and step into what has always been waiting for you, because time will not wait, but destiny will always reward the ones who move when the moment arrives. Every great turning point in history has always come down to a decision made in a fleeting second. The wars that were won, the discoveries that were made, the lives that were transformed, all of them hinged on someone choosing action instead of hesitation. And now you are standing in such a second yourself. The weight you feel pressing on you is not random. It is destiny leaning in, urging you to recognize the urgency of this hour. The decision you make in this moment will ripple outward, shaping not just your present, but the entirety of your future. There is something powerful about the window of opportunity. It does not stay open indefinitely. It appears at the exact moment when everything is aligned, your strength, your readiness, your circumstances, your calling, and then it begins to close. This is why hesitation is so dangerous. You may think you are pausing harmlessly, but in reality, you are watching the window narrow with every passing heartbeat, and once it shuts, you cannot pry it open again with regret. The moment will not return in the same form, with the same clarity, with the same force. That is why you must act now before hesitation steals what was meant for you. Think of the consequences of ignoring this moment. What doors might remain locked? What opportunities might dissolve before your eyes? What relationships, what alignments, what breakthroughs might vanish simply because you delayed 1 second too long? The thought alone is sobering because deep down you know it is true. You have felt it before, the sting of watching something slip away simply because you hesitated. And you also know how heavy the regret feels when you replay the moment in your mind, realizing you could have chosen differently. But this moment offers you something different. It offers you redemption. It offers you the chance to choose courage this time, to move without delay, to break the cycle of hesitation that has cost you before. You are not powerless. You are not too late. You are standing in the exact second where everything shifts if you decide to act. And that decision, though it may feel small in the moment, carries power far beyond what you can see. It will ripple into every corner of your life, reshaping your path in ways you could not design on your own. Hesitation always disguises itself as wisdom, but in reality it is fear wearing a mask. It tells you that waiting is safe, that delay is responsible, that holding back will protect you. But in truth, hesitation is the thief that steals quietly, leaving you with nothing but the shadow of what could have been. Courage, on the other hand, may feel dangerous in the moment, but it is the only force that truly sets you free. And freedom is not given to those who wait endlessly. It is given to those who move when the call arrives. When you step forward, even trembling, even unsure, you tap into the force of alignment that has been waiting for you. Suddenly, the path that once looked impossible begins to open. Strength rises that you did not know you had. Opportunities appear that you did not chase. The energy of destiny multiplies itself around you, confirming with every step that you made the right choice. That is the reward of action. It does not wait until you feel ready. It makes you ready as you move. The reality is this: life is not changed by grand plans alone. It is changed by seconds. Seconds of courage, seconds of decision, seconds where you refuse to delay even 1 moment longer. You are standing in such a second now. And this second, though fragile, holds more power than you realize. It holds the power to redeem your past, transform your present, and shape your future. But only if you move, only if you act, only if you refuse to let hesitation steal another heartbeat from you. So breathe deeply. Feel the urgency not as fear but as confirmation. Let it propel you instead of paralyze you. This is not the time to hold back. This is the time to step forward boldly, to claim what has been waiting for you, to act without delay. Because 1 second of courage is worth more than a lifetime of regret. And this is your second. Do not waste it. There comes a point where hesitation is no longer an innocent pause but a dangerous decision. That point is now. You are standing at the edge of a moment that has been building for years, perhaps even longer. Everything you have survived, every struggle you endured, every lesson that sharpened you was not random. It was alignment preparing you for this very second. And now it has arrived, clear and undeniable. The urgency you feel is not anxiety. It is confirmation. It is destiny leaning close, reminding you that delay, even for a single heartbeat, will cost you more than you want to pay. The truth is that destiny does not wait for comfort. It does not pause until you feel stronger. It does not give you endless second chances. It moves like a river, and either you step into its flow or you are left on the shore watching it pass by. This is the sobering reality. There is no replay button on the moments that matter most. If you hesitate, the door closes. If you act, the door opens wider than you imagined. That is why every second in this hour is so heavy, because every second is a choice, alignment or regret, courage or delay, destiny or silence. Regret is not an immediate sting. It creeps in slowly, disguising itself as reflection, until one day you realize you have been carrying the weight of what could have been for years. That weight bends people, steals their energy, drains their joy. And it all began with a single moment of hesitation. The voice that said, "I will act later," becomes the echo that follows them into the future. If only I had acted then. You have seen it before in others, perhaps even in yourself. And you know its heaviness is unbearable, but this moment offers you something greater than regret. It offers redemption. It offers the chance to prove to yourself that you will not repeat the same pattern again. You have waited long enough, you have endured long enough, you have prepared long enough. The waiting is over, the door is open, the window of opportunity is here, and your decision in this exact second will determine everything that follows. Do not mistake this urgency as pressure meant to crush you. It is energy meant to move you. The weight you feel is not a burden, it is momentum. It is the accumulated force of every lesson, every delay, every trial, pushing you toward the breakthrough that is finally within reach. But momentum is wasted if it is not answered with action. And the longer you wait, the more it dissipates until only silence remains. That silence is what regret sounds like, but when you move, when you step into courage, that silence breaks, replaced by the sound of doors opening, chains falling, and futures unfolding. Ask yourself, what story do you want to tell from this day forward? Do you want to look back and say that you recognized the moment but let it slip? Or do you want to say that you honored it, that you acted, that you embraced the courage you once thought you lacked? That story is being written right now. The ink is your decision, and the page will not remain blank forever. Soon it will be filled, either with the story of hesitation or the story of courage. The choice is yours. This is not the time to overthink. This is not the time to wait for proof. The proof is already around you in the alignment of circumstances, in the stirring of your spirit, in the urgency that will not let you rest. These are confirmations that the moment has arrived. What you do with it determines what your future will hold, and though the choice feels daunting, it is also empowering. Because the future is not out of your reach, it is within your hands here, in this second. So let this be the second where hesitation ends. Let this be the second where you silence the voice of fear and listen to the voice of destiny. Let this be the second where you prove to yourself that you are stronger than delay, greater than regret, braver than fear. Because everything you have waited for, everything you have dreamed of, everything you have endured has brought you here, not to stay still, but to move. The window is open, the second is now. Do not waste it. Step boldly into what was meant for you, because destiny does not wait. And if you act now, you will never have to live with the weight of wondering what might have been. You will live in the freedom of knowing what truly is. Step now, or regret will echo forever in silence, destiny, and leaves only endless regret behind.